Hey guys, welcome to the Nosebleeds. I'm Will Presti, and I'm thrilled to be sitting here talking to six-time World Series champion as a coach and player, legendary Yankees second baseman, Mr. Willie Randolph. How you doing, Willie?
Good to see you.
So obviously we here at Collectiblexchange are all about bringing people an easy to use platform for buying and selling collectibles, safe, everything's authenticated. What I want to ask you is, growing up, were you a big collector? Did you baseball cards, anything like that?
Yeah, I was more into the baseball cards. My friends and I, we would flip them and stuff, and we put them in our bike spokes if they weren't was a crappy player. We didn't know anybody we didn't know. But I was always looking for a Mickey Mantle card, a Willie Mays card. I was a big Met fan as a kid growing up. So guys like Tom Seaver, Don Clendenin. I was a second baseman, so Ken Boswell. A lot of these kids don't know these guys. But Buddy Harrelson, Cleon Jones. So I was more into that. But hey, I had boxes and boxes, and it's the same story that we all tell about. My mom saw the box and threw it away. But autographs weren't as big back then. I go to the game, watch the game, and just go right back home.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I wonder what you had in those boxes, man.
I know. I cringe to think how many I gave away, but I was a light collector back then. But it wasn't until later on where I had my first son in 1981 where I started to kind of collect a little bit more for him. Being in the ballpark, he was always around the ballpark at All-Star games, so he kind of got into a little bit. So I had the luxury of being able to every once in a while get an autograph from a few guys. Muhammad Ali probably was my biggest autograph. When I was managing the Mets in 2007, we were in Houston playing the Astros, and should I even mention the Astros nowadays? Okay, anyway, that was before.
That's another question.
That was before analytics. That was before all the cameras and stuff. But yeah, I remember he came into the clubhouse, and it was so cool to watch him sit there in front of all the team there and do these card tricks. Man, he was great with these card tricks and stuff. He just mesmerized the whole clubhouse, and I got his autograph. And to this day, that's one of my prized possessions. Muhammad Ali to me is my hero. My first inspiration was Jackie Robinson, but obviously it was a little bit before my time. And I would love to have had a Jackie Robinson autograph and anything he could put on it. I met his wife, obviously, his daughter, all those people. I felt like I was around royalty and that I met him in some way. But as a kid, he was my first inspiration. So Muhammad Ali and the ultimate would have been a Jackie Robinson autograph, but
So Ali had quick hands in and out of the ring, is what you're trying to say. That's unreal.
It was crazy. It was unbelievable. He was unbelievable, and these were really good card tricks too. And he was telling jokes and everything. It was one of the biggest days of my life, being with my team in the clubhouse, just very casual. And he was one of the guys, and we took a shot together where we were like this. It was he stretched out, I stretched out, and I was like, oh man.
He might have had you on the reach just a little bit.
That's right.
Tall guy.
And I'm glad he didn't hit me.
Oh, you ever get a weird request by a fan for like a collectible, like can you sign this, or can I have your sock, or like something weird that somebody wanted from you? Does that ever happen to you?
Well,
anything you can mention on camera at least?
Well, I shouldn't mention this on camera, but back in the day, we were in Kansas City, and they used to, we were like rock stars back in the day, so we would leave the ballpark, and fans would literally follow us to the airport. We were like the Beatles, right? So we were leaving Chicago. Actually, we were in Kansas City. You're going to leave the ballpark, and I get on the bus after we showered, and we're ready to go to the airport. And there's this girl. We might have to cut this, but there's a girl. She was on the bus, and she was. Guys were actually signing her chest. Her hind parts.
Her hind parts.
Yeah. So when I got on the bus, I was like, okay, should I leave right now? But I didn't do it. But that was probably the weirdest thing. And she was like, wanted everybody to kind of sign Sharpie her.
And she ended up marrying one of the players, right? We won't say which one. I was kidding. Now let me ask you, Derek Jeter just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Missed unanimous by one vote, but that's neither here nor there. You got to see him up close and personally. You coached him. From your perspective, what is it about him that makes him so great?
Well, it was so many things that just jumped off the table with me with Derek. From his first day in the camp, you just could tell he felt he belonged, like he was going to be there for a long time. No one ever thought he'd become a Hall of Famer, of course, but the work ethic was there. Just his presence, around the veterans. You didn't see him intimidated. He knew his place. You know, he wasn't talking a lot, but he observed everything. I just remember the '95 playoff game against Seattle where we lost that walk-off when Edgar Martinez got that hit and Cora scored. Jeter was on the bench after we fouled off the field, and I can just look in his eyes and see, even though he didn't play that day, you can see him staring out in the field, almost thinking that, you know what, this is what it feels like. You know, I don't like the feeling. We're going to get back to that. And that's when his career started taking off. The year after that, he became the shortstop in '96. But I could just see in his eyes, he had this real competitive edge in his eye where he felt like, wow, you know what, this is not a good feeling. You know, we have to be better as a Yankee. And so that just kind of springboarded his whole career, I think, in so many ways. And Mariano had the same type of attitude, Posada, Bernie, a little bit before that. But that core group were the guys that understood what it took to be a Yankee and how important winning was. So
was he coachable?
Coachable.
Was Derek Jeter coachable?
He was very coachable.
How?
Derek to
It's
me.
Brandon Steiner,
Yeah,
by the way,
Brandon
everybody.
Steiner.
If you're the voice of God coming through, that's Brandon Steiner.
Voice of God, I like that, whatever. No, coachable was, I mean, that's not even a word. I mean, he just wanted to work every day. I mean, he was the first guy out there. He'd take ground balls, and I had to stop him at times. He took so many ground balls because he had, coming out of AAA, he had made some errors, but those were young errors. He wanted to be best. That's the thing I love about Jeter. He wants to be the best. And so I had no problem. He was the easiest pupil I've ever had because and when I come out there every day with my fungo, he would be sitting there early. I hit him ground ball after ground ball. I actually stop him like, we got to play a game tonight, save your energy. But no, he was the best student for me because he made it easy because he came to work every day wanting to be best.
Right. And one more question for you. We're going on through all this stuff with, the Astros or what are these controversies going on, and then of course the '90s, early 2000s, kind of the PED epidemic coming to the forefront. Do you think that sort of the fact that Jeter's come out of this, clean and not having any of these, there's so much controversy now. Do you think it kind of adds to the way people look up to him and even Mo because of how they went about it during the era that they did?
It's all about respect. Exactly. That's what it's all about, respect. You never had a doubt where Jeter was coming from, being clean, just the way he carried himself. Listen, I grew up in New York. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. So, and I watched guys like Dave Winfield come through the pike, Reggie and all those cats who had a tough time at times, dealing with the media, the fan expectations. Jeter had the blueprint. I don't know how he did it. Never got in trouble. Always was out and about, but you didn't hear anything controversial about him. He just knew how to handle himself. So he was just a perfect role model, and that he also, as a captain, set the example every day. So that's what I love about Jeter, is that he understood his role, his responsibility as a captain, and he was consistent. That's another thing I love about Jeter, is that every day he was consistent. You never knew what he was 0 for 30, which didn't happen too often, or he was 15 for 20 or whatever, So he just always had that demeanor where you post up every day, you always count him, being dependable, and also he was consistent. No matter wins or losses, he was always ready to play the game. And in some cases, he would cut your heart out to do it, but it was all in the name of good competition.
Well, the way you just described Jeter is the way I would describe you. I mean, honestly, a lot of similarities there. This has been the Nosebleeds. I'm Will Presti. This is Willie Randolph.
Right.
Such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Great talking to you, man. Give me a tissue. I get my nose is starting to really hear. Tissue.